It is our job to protect our constituents.
Yeah. Craig Whittaker.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Everyone would like to see a cessation of smoking. The long-term health benefits to the nation as a whole would be the benefactor of people stopping for good, let alone starting at an early age. The problem, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that this bill, sadly, will not be the vehicle to achieve such an ambition. It's a bill written by non-smokers for smokers. A bill that is so out of touch with the cause that they want to cure, I feel it will miss the target by a very long shot. First of all, this bill does not ban smoking. It only stops the sale of tobacco to 18-year-olds if they turn 15 this year. We've heard today already by the Secretary of State that 100,000 children already start smoking every year. This when the sale of tobacco is already banned for those children. It's based on the premise that children today still ask their mate's older brother to buy them some cigarettes from the corner shop like they did back in the 1980s. They don't. The vast majority of regular smokers today only ever buy their cigarettes from the corner shop when they've run out of their illicitly bought cigarettes. And if you don't believe me, pop into any pub in the UK and ask the smokers whether they buy tax-paid cigarettes from the supermarket or the corner shop. And I can guarantee you that the vast majority don't. In every community, there are avenues to buy illicit cigarettes at a fraction of the price of the average £15 for a pack of 20 cigarettes from the corner shop. And a recent poll of 12,000 smokers, adult smokers, found that the illegal tobacco market remains resilient in the UK, in spite of the number of the overall smokers declining year on year. And on that basis alone, the illicit market is actually increasing. The study found that 76% of those 12,000 smokers bought tobacco in the last year that has not been subject to UK tax, with nearly 1 in 2 smokers having no objection to buying non-UK duty-paid tobacco from family, friends, colleagues or shops. The poll also revealed that 9% of smokers buy tobacco through social media or websites advertising cheap tobacco, and they do that at least once a month. Evidence from around the world shows that when you put further restrictions on people, smugglers and gangs take over where the government has left the market. In South Africa, they banned smoking during the pandemic. They banned the sale of tobacco during the pandemic. They are now struggling with the gangs and smugglers. 93% of the market in South Africa is covered by those gangs and smugglers. And in Australia, it was mentioned earlier that they've seen a rise in young people smoking. They're actually seeing retailers firebombed when corner shops refuse to stock illicit tobacco. Now, children don't buy £15 packets of cigarettes either. They buy them from the same sources in the community. Those cigarettes supplied by smugglers and gangs, that illicit tobacco. Now, the Secretary of State earlier said that this bill allocates £30 million to trading standards. Madam Deputy Speaker, this is a drop in the ocean. Trading standards is not just a sick department. It needs life support to come anywhere near achieving the task they already need to achieve. 30 million still leaves them with a shortfall of 78 million on what their budget was in 2009. Spending on trading standards in 2009 was 213 million. This year, it was frozen at 102.5 million. And between 2009 and 2016, the number of trading standards officers fell by 56%. And the CTI has warned that cuts have created a postcode lottery of provision and have called for an urgent review of how trading standards are resourced. Of course they will.
My honourable friend is making extremely important points. However laudable and well-intentioned this bill is, it seems to me that what he's saying, that it's impractical and unenforceable, and there isn't the funding anyway, through trading standards, to make it happen in reality.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and they're the points that I'm coming on to do. The aims of the government to create this generation of smoke-free people as time progresses will just not work. It's not working now when it's banned for those young people, those 100,000 young people who are taking up smoking every year, and it's already banned for them. In 2021, Trading Standards seized just over £7.8 million in illicit tobacco. This from the UK government's own guesstimate that illicit tobacco accounts for over 16% of the market. And that's a loss of 2.8 billion, not million, billion in tax and duty. We've also heard that this bill is based on the New Zealand model. Now, New Zealand does not have an illicit tobacco problem like we do here in the UK. New Zealand is 2,500 miles away from the nearest big trader, Australia. The UK is 23 miles away from the continent. The two countries cannot be compared. The New Zealand model has now failed and they've performed a U-turn, as we've heard. Instead, the New Zealand government continues to support initiatives to provide people with practical tools and support to help them quit. These include ensuring the provision of effective services to stop smoking, providing access to alternative products to help smoking cessation, and to promote social media marketing campaigns to stop smoking and vaping. The bill here in the UK provides little guidance nor support on cessation to those who already smoke. I myself was one of the 6.4 million smokers here in the UK, but stopped smoking just over a year ago. And I found very little help and support from the government, despite all the hype around what is being done. In fact, having tried virtually every product on the market to give up smoking, even hypnosis, the only product that eventually made me give up was heated tobacco. This product, however, is not included in His Majesty's government's bill before us today as a cessation tool. Instead, the sale of which for those young people is to be banned under the bill. Even the Kiwis recognised what a great cessation tool it is and did not include it in their bill. Instead, they put it in the arsenal of tools and recognised the benefits of it for cessation. In Japan, where 18.6 million people smoke, 25% of ex-smokers quit using heated tobacco, and they are already seeing the health benefits through their health system. Similarly, the country with the lowest smoking rate in the world, Sweden, over half of the ex-smokers have quit using something called snus, something that is actually already banned here in the UK. And ironically, the government has put all the reds into the vaping scene for cessation. However, 30% of all those people who vape still smoke cigarettes. Not only that, but what PHE call alternative nicotine delivery devices, such as vaping products, the bill doesn't include heated tobacco, which is delivered via just that very same device. So to summarise, Madam Deputy Speaker, this bill isn't cut out for what the ambitions of the government are. It follows a failed model that was devised in New Zealand, who, unlike the UK, does not have the same issue with illicit tobacco. It depends on a morsel of cash to an incredibly stretched Trading Standards that is operating on a budget that is half of what it was 15 years ago to police and enforce the policy of this bill. It underestimates the scale of the illicit tobacco trade already in the UK and will promote illicit tobacco trade even further in the future. And it fails to promote cessation to the current 6.4 million smokers in the UK and fails to recognise the many more products which are better than cigarettes for people to quit, like heated tobacco. It fails on every level. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, if the government, and indeed this House, were serious about stopping people smoking, why not just set an arbitrary date in the future where smoking will be banned completely, either in partaking or selling? This will give us time for serious investment in cessation, and it will also give us serious investment of time to stop these illegal gangs and smugglers.
Yes. Just to remind